Yo, what's going on, guys? K from Art Executive, and today I want to show you guys how I took toilet paper roll, line paper, and I created what you see there in front of you, the Hulk. Okay, so let me say this: there's actually a few more things added than just the toilet paper roll and the paper itself. I'll normally use yes, toilet paper roll, line paper. I have aluminum foil that I actually use as well. So let me back up. When I begin the process on making something, first I kind of discovered you have these toilet paper rolls, you throw them away all the time. It's like I could probably make something out of it. So, yes, I decided to try to make something out of it. I wrapped it up with aluminum foil. From there, I took what I call water paper. Some people call it paper mache, water paper, and I began to form a body structure around the toilet paper roll itself. I will sometime use like wire or paper clip to support the body parts that I'm trying to make on whatever character it is. And from there, I'll go ahead and let it dry. Now, after it dries, it turns out something like this. Okay, as you see the aluminum foil inside. You see the wires hanging off. That's going to be the legs there. And actually, this is one of them I'm making that was going to, that's one, not going to say going to, it is going to be the Black Panther. So this one here in the middle process, I'm making the Black Panther there. Yeah, so again, it turns out blue because the ink from the line paper turns the water blue. And that's how it comes out after it's dry. Now, that right there, that is very hard. That's hard like a rock. So when it dries, it is really hard. So now it's supporting the toilet paper roll. If I want to, I can remove the aluminum foil in there, but I normally do that at the end. From that point, after I get everything formed on the tissue paper, toilet paper roll that I'm trying to make, whatever character it is that I'm making, I'll go ahead and I'll put compound on it or spackle, and I'll go ahead and I'll place that on it. Now, after I do that, normally this is what you get. Okay. Now you see that there. And that this one here actually is going to be Spider-Man that I'm doing. But yes, this is how it looks. And unfortunately, a lot of these guys have a big old backside because of the toilet paper roll. So yeah, it's like their backside's hanging out. So they got a lot of it back there. But nevertheless, yeah, so that's how it looks. It looks quite rough, as you can tell. Needs to be sanded down and so forth. But yes, that's Spider-Man that I'm working on. And these things that I'm making, even though they're Marvel, I call them my punyverse, little guys, little toilet paper roll guys. So once I get it and I begin to sand stuff down to the way that I want it, it begins to, it gets a better look of what I'm going for. So let me say this. Let me show you guys this here. This one, of course, you know who that is. Captain America. He's got a shield. So I sand the shield down. You see how smooth that is. You see how smooth it is there. And from there, I'll go ahead and begin to sand the rest of the body. And I'll go ahead and work on the arms and legs and go ahead and carve and sand and scrape whatever needs to be done to each character. Now, after that's done, I'll go ahead and sand and smooth it down some more. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I will use foam on these guys. So, for an example, Hawk here, his feet are actually foam. So, yes, Hawk's feet are foam. I know it's kind of hard to tell that, but yes, they are. The rest of his body is the water paper, as I call it. And then I'll go ahead and I'll sand everything down to basically what I'm looking for. I'll sand until I feel comfortable that I can go ahead to the next stage. Now from there, once it's sanded down and I feel okay with how it looks, as you see, I'll go ahead and I'll put some clothes and stuff on it and paint it and do what needs to be done with it. This one here, actually, again, one of the problems I have is that I actually get into too many projects at one time. So I'm actually working on all four of the guys, and I'm looking to do. There's going to be Iron Man, Thor, and I believe I was looking for one more that I was going to add. So there's probably going to be about maybe six of these guys that I'm going to have. But Hawk was the first one I got finished. Um, I'm probably looking at it now. It may be Captain America that may be next that I'll have done. But yeah, I'm going to have my little tiny puny verse, as I call them, and uh, and go ahead and knock that out. So let me start painting here, and you guys get to see me in action here. These guys, they do take some time to make. I'll say that they take a little while to make, so it's not something that I can have done in like a day or two. And as I said, normally I'll start working on one, and then you know I'll go ahead and work on another one before the first one's finished. So before Hawk got finished, I was already, as you see, I was working on the other three. Um, you can actually, I mean, this is something that anybody can do. Anybody can make these. They're also, excuse me, they're also good if you want to make, let's say you want to make some ornaments for the table for the holiday or something. You can make like Christmas ornaments. And the silly thing is, you could just use toilet paper roll and the paper, like I said, and make something easily out of that. I'll probably do a video on that as well. But yeah, this is pretty simple. You can make something really nice and present that and shock the family with what you made, and they'll be like, "Wow, that is cool." There are a few other things actually that I've made um, using this technique. So I've got other stuff that I made. And this paper, water paper technique that I use, I started doing that back in the late '90s. I started doing that. I was that was around the time I was working on airbrush and sequins on jean jackets and things like that. And I wanted to see what I could do with paper. I wanted to try something different. I always had that knack for wanting to put something, a 3D type style on something. It was like, if I'm drawing something, I had to add something to it that's like a 3D effect kind of thing. So in saying that, I started doing the paper technique, adding that to different things, and then the first thing that I made, I don't even know what I was going for. I think it was like a. It looked like something that you can put a hot dog in and have it hold a hot dog or something. I don't know. It just looked weird, and it had like a little vase in on the other end that you can stick something like pencils or a flower or something. I don't know what I was going for. A cup holder, change holder. So I don't know. I don't know. But I did that and I let it dry. And then that was the first time that was the very first thing that I made. And I realized, wow, it's pretty solid. You know, it was rock hard. It came out nice. From there, I started to expand to see what else I can do with it. And that's when I started doing other stuff with it. Now, it was probably, I'm going to say, 7, maybe 6, 7 years back, I started to take my art real serious. I started to take my art serious. I mean, when I actually realized like you can do something with this, and so that's when I began to like buckle down and find my technique, find my find my skill, my nick, and I started to create other pieces. Well, I have other pieces. Um, I know I shot a video of me being at storage, rather, and there's some work that I have in storage, packed away. And they're old pieces that I had that are packed away. But a lot of 3D stuff, real deep 3D things that I have. And guys, if you hang with me in the upcoming future, I'm going to be doing some other stuff. I've got things, like on the back burner that I'm just dying to get to. And I think you guys may like what I've got coming up, what I'm going to be presenting. So I'm excited for that. Can't wait for that. But I told myself before I do that, I need to finish up all this other stuff that I have open. My plan is to complete these other pieces that I have. Previous videos, I've been showing you guys work that I have that I'm working on. And if you actually see most of my videos, it's a lot of pieces, a lot of incomplete pieces that I need to finish. So I gave myself to the summer to finish up a lot of the stuff. And I should correct that. I'm going to finish up all the pieces that need to be finished. So I've been working hard at doing that, finishing those pieces. I think I enjoyed getting detailed in the work. I think I do. I remember being in school, art school. I think that was 11th grade when I went to art school. I was still in high school, but we had a tech school that we would go to. So it was like 2 weeks at tech school and then 2 weeks at regular school. And one of the things we had to do there for enrollment, when we met the teacher, he had us draw something, whatever we wanted to draw. He didn't care what it was, just draw him something so he could check it out and see. And I forget what I drew. I think I drew something like, I don't know, it was mountains and stuff, and trees way back in the mountain, like a deer up on the mountain too, and it was way off in the distance. And then I had stuff, you can see up close, but it was a lot of detail I had going on. And he was the first person that told me that I was a detailed artist. I was like, oh, okay, all right, sure, if you say so. But then as the years went on, it was like, yeah, okay. I see. I get very detailed in my work, and I've actually embraced that. Embrace being a detailed artist. I like to get down into the like nook and crannies of art piece that I'm doing. Like for an example, if I'm doing a face, and let's say the person has wrinkles on their face, I want to get in there and try to get like every pore, every wrinkle, every pore of the face. So yeah, I've just learned to embrace being a detailed artist. Also, guys, as I've said in previous videos, it's best to, in my belief, my opinion, it's best to expand whatever it is that you're doing artistically. You just don't want to stick to just one area. And what I mean by that is like if you're painting, okay, that's fine and cool, but also I would look into like doing t-shirts or doing posters or doing postcards, doing something, expand what you're doing. Don't just stick to one area. I'm just a painter and that's it. You got to expand that. There are other things that I've done in the past. I've done artwork for I've done artwork for books, illustrations. I've done artwork for tattoos. I've done artwork for t-shirts. I've done stuff, people wanted portraits, gifts and things. And so, yeah, I get into a little, I won't say everything, but I get into different stuff, different areas. It's kind of good to expand what you do. You'll find that it's beneficial to you, I would say. Somebody may want you to design something for them or create something for them. It's better to say you can do it than, no, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. And that's another thing. Always take on a new challenge. Don't get comfortable at what you're doing. And again, that's just my opinion. Don't ever get content with your own style. Challenge yourself. Always challenge yourself to move to the next level. Like I mentioned before, when I was in art school, and when we were given a project and students were talking about or taking on other projects, easy stuff, assignments, and I would pick something that was really detailed, a lot of detail and stuff because I wanted to separate myself from what everybody else was doing. And most of the time it worked. So All right, guys. I think I talked your ear off enough. I'm going to go ahead and pause it for here. So next time when I pick this back up again, Hawk should be almost completed. So, guys, if you like what you're seeing, follow along, subscribe if you like. I'd appreciate that. Leave a comment. So until then, guys, I'll be talking to you. Salute.